Welcome back, dear students. This video I am going to explain about natural disasters, that is earthquakes. First of all, which is a natural disaster, we should be remembered. And earthquake is the shaking of the surface of the earth resulting from a sudden release of the energy in the earth lithosphere that creates seismic waves. This release of energy is typically caused by the movement of tectonic plates along faults, fractures in the earth crust, or volcanic activity. Different causes of the earthquake, we can see the tectonic plate movement, divergent boundaries, convergent boundaries, and transforming of the boundaries. And one more thing is volcanic activity. Because of volcanic activity, also earthquake will be happens. Human activities like mining activities, construction of the tall buildings, underground structures, it will be create the occurrence of the earthquakes. First of all, if you see the tectonic plate movement, it will be occurs. It is also called as lithosphere is broken into several large pieces known as tectonic plates. These plates are constantly moving, and their interaction at plate boundaries like divergent, convergent, or transforming boundaries are most of the cases the earthquake will be occurs. What is meant by diverging boundaries? The diverging boundary is nothing but a plate movement apart from the creating smaller earthquakes and converging boundaries, which means towards the each other it will be moves, it will be causes beneath the earth surface and create large and powerful earthquakes. Because of transforming of the boundaries, plate sides uh, paste one another horizontally, causing friction that can result earthquake will be occurrence. These are the reasons because of tectonic plate movements. So what happened here is the lithosphere having number of plates. The tectonic plate which will be moves in the horizontally, and it will be moves by the away from the each other and towards the each other. So because of this action, the earthquake will be happens or occurs. And one more thing is volcanic activity. The earthquakes can be occur due to the movement of magma beneath the earth surface. It will create some push up or push into the upward direction, and it will cause some cracks or fractures to the crust of the earth, and it will be creates or occurrence of the earthquake, usually localized around the volcanoes. So here the human activities, what will be happen? The earthquakes can also be induced by the human activities like mining activities or reservoir induced seismosity or hydraulic fracturing or oil and gas storages. Because of this heavy weight, the soil it will be create some movement or shaking and leads to occurrence of the earthquakes. And then what is seismic waves? Here the seismic waves are two types. One is body waves, second one is surface waves. That body waves also dividing into two types, that is primary waves, secondary waves. So what is the meaning of primary and secondary? Primary in the sense P waves, secondary in the sense S waves. These are the fastest seismic waves. It will be moves through the both solids and liquids. That is the meaning of primary waves. Secondary waves moves only along with the traveling through the solids only, and it will be create some amount of shaking process. And surface waves only it will be flows on the surface of the earth surface, and it will be also having two types. One is low waves, second one is Rayleigh waves. The low waves which are travels on the surface of the earth in horizontal direction, and the Rayleigh waves it will be moves on the ground by the elliptical motion or circular motion. It will be travels like waves in water. So these are the seismic waves majorly we can focus. And what is the meaning of focus and epicenter? The focus is also known as hypocenter. This is the point beneath The earth surface where the earthquake originated, the energy is first released here. The focus in the sense wherever the earthquake will be happens, that beneath the surface of the point, from that point the energy of the earthquake will be releases. That is the meaning of focus. And whatever the point we located beneath the surface, that point will be reflected on the surface of the earth. That point is nothing but a epicenter. So directly it will be above the focus point. Then what is the meaning of Richard scale and moment magnitude scale? These two scales are which are going to be used for the measuring of the earthquake. Richard scale is nothing but given by the Richard scientist, and it will be the range of the scale will be 1 to 9, 1 to 10. So the 1 is the minimum magnitude of the earthquake will be happen, and 10 is the maximum magnitude of the earthquake. And moment magnitude scale, it will be a measure, it is released by the earthquake, especially for the larger events, wherever the accurate reading or accurate measurement we need, we go for the usage of the moment magnitude scale, that is MW. Then what are the effects of the earthquake will be? So the earthquake will be happens, the main effect of the earthquake is ground shaking. The primary effect and main effect of the earthquake is the shaking of the ground. This can be caused because of building to collapse. By the ground shaking, landslides will be occurs. By the ground shaking, tsunami maybe happens within the surface of the water, and the surface will be ruptured. The second effect, the ground surface can crack or displace as a result of the earthquake, especially along active fault lines. Whereas tsunami will be occurs under the water, and particularly those occurring along the subduction zones can generate tsunami. Large ocean waves may be cause for the displacement of the water, and this can be causes or this can be leads to coastal damage and loss of life also. And one more thing is liquefaction. When strong shaking causes water saturated soil to behave like a liquid, it can cause building to sink or topple from their position. And finally, landslides will be also occur because of earthquake. When the earthquake can trigger landslides, especially in mountainous areas, due to the destabilization of slopes. Though these are the effects we can observe in the practical observation of the earthquake, the collapsing of building, breaking of roads, and landslides will be occurs, and breaking of the road will be occurs, and shelter may be losses, tsunami will be occurs because of volcanic eruption. Also, the earthquake will be happens, and landslides will be occurs because of earthquake. Like that, the number of effects, the people may be get injured because of earthquake, and these are the major effects we can observe in nature. So, earthquake prediction, how it will be? The prediction of the earthquake, while going to be maintaining or following certain methods, certain safety control measures, we can predict the earthquake. For example, if you take the seismic hazard mapping, so the hazard mapping also will be helps for the showing of the areas where high risk areas, where low risk areas, historical data will be known, and tectonic plate boundaries and fault lines we can see. So by that way also we can predict the earthquake prone areas. And foreshocks and aftershocks also we can observe, and also earthquake early warning system will be helpful for the some regions, practically those in Japan or California have early warning systems that can detect Indian initial P waves of the earthquake and send alerts, fraction of the seconds, fraction of the minute, for the damaging of the S wave arrives. So, like that, the safety also we can observe the drop, cover, hold on shaking of the ground, and also we should be hold our neck, our head by the shaking of the ground, and building codes also we can follow for the construction of the earthquake prone areas construction field. So basically, earthquake resistant construction helps building withstand for the shaking, High-rise buildings or high-rise areas building are the often designed to flex rather than the break. So building codes also will be helpful for the construction of a structures when the going for the earthquake prone areas. The codes and regulations also will be helpful to withstand or to strengthen the buildings. And one more thing is evacuation plans also may be helpful for the safety conditions. Knowing of evacuation routes and safe spaces can life saving, and especially in case of tsunami or landslides triggered by the quake. So like that, the safety of the earthquake we can observe. And one more thing is historical earthquakes also we can see. 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which was have the magnitude of 7.9, which has caused extensive damage to the Francisco and surrounding areas. And one more example, we can take 2011 Tohoku earthquake in Japan, and the magnitude of the earthquake is 9.1, and it was a powerful earthquake and triggered a massive tsunami, and it will be results the 15,000 death and the Fukushima nuclear disasters also. And very well knowing of the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, that is magnitude 9.1 to 9.3, and it was triggered a massive tsunami that affected several countries like India and Sri Lanka and also Thailand. So like that, number of countries were affected, and it was also international zone. So it was by happening of this 2 lakhs 30,000 people were died because of this earthquake and tsunami. Like that, the historical earthquakes also we can see, we can observe. And what are the zones in India? Earthquake zones also very important. While knowing about the earthquake zones, there are four number of zones according to Bureau of Indian Standard, and it was revised in 2016. Zone 2 is the low risk area, Zone 3 is the moderate risk area, and Zone 4 is the high risk area, and Zone 5 is the very high risk areas. While going to into detail about Zone 2, the least active seismic zone it is, and it will be covers of the Deccan Plateau, central and southern India. Example of Karnataka, Kerala, part of Madhya Pradesh, and Hyderabad and Chhattisgarh, and these will be comes under Zone 2 or low risk areas. Zone 3, moderate risk areas. These are including region of the Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh, and also Gujarat and West Bengal. These are comes under Zone 3 areas. Zone 4 areas, high seismic activity. These will be covers New Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, a part of Bihar, West Bengal and part of Gujarat, including Ahmedabad. And these will becomes under high risk or high risk earthquake prone areas. And Zone 5, which is very high risk areas. So whenever we go further listening about earthquake in India, these zones were frequently or actively occurrence of the earthquake zone areas, like northeast India. The northeast part of the India is Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura. These will be comes under northeast India, and Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, Andaman Nicobar Islands, and Rana of Kutch region in Gujarat. It will be located at the bottom face of the Indian map. So these will be comes under Zone 5, which are very high risk areas for the occurrence of the earthquakes. When we come to the Zone 1, what will be happen? India does not have the seismic Zone 1 in the current classification by the Bureau of Indian Standard, that is 1893 2016. Previously it will be having, but Zone 1 is a very low risk area where taken negligible. So that is the meaning of Zone 1. By this way we can understand about the different causes of the earthquake, and what are the distribution of the earthquake, what are the effects of the earthquake, and what type of mitigation measures or safety tips we have to follow for the prediction of the earthquake. Likewise, we can understand about the earthquake very easily. and we can observe the earthquake prone areas also. We can observe the distribution of the earthquake in India. So by this way we can conclude the part of earthquake. Majorly the earthquake is the natural disaster or hazard which will be happens very frequently. Thank you very much. Thank you all. If you have any doubts you can comment or you can ask in the classroom. Thank you.